we go. Wide 80. 186. Here we go. Wide 80. What do you think? Here we go. Wide 80. What do you think? Here we go. Here we go. Wide 80. Under. What do you think? Here we go. 47. What do you think? What do you think? Here we go. Wide 80. What do you think? What do you think? Hey, here we go. Wide 80. What do you think? Here we go. Here we go. Going to 54. Wide 80. What do you think? What do you think? Here we go. Wide 80. Switch is A. Here we go. 46. What do you think? What do you think? Here we go. Wide 80. What do you think? Here we go. Wide 80. What do you think? Here we go. Wide 80. What do you think? Hey, here we go. Wide 80. What do you think? Here we go. Wide 80. What do you think? Here we go. Wide 80. What do you think? Here we go. Wide 80. What do you think? Here we go. Wide 80.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go now. Go to base. 54. Right. 54. Oh, here we go. Oh. 54. Check. 54 is Mike. Check. 54. Not today, you are. Not today.
Throwing now. Haskins on first down. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
65. Check.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. On the ground, it's Geis. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Now after the run by Geis, here's first and 10.
What we got?
And now here's a carry heading left. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. Geis with a carry on second down. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. It's 3. Check 24. Alert 3.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Now Howard. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. On the ground, Geis. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Redskins take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Now the extra point try forthcoming. It's good, and the Redskins take a 7-0 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Cowboys take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Watch the edge. Check 24. Check 24. Switch. SOS.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on 2nd down, Prescott. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their pursuit.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Nickel Roby-Coleman, a sack off the corner.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. This is Geis. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Redskin first down. The pickup, 15 yards. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Geis showing he's going to be an important part of this Redskin backfield as he's in there again for first down. Now they try the right side here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running with Howard. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Redskins 7, Cowboys nothing.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Geis. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Geis. And an alley to run. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Geis, they'll try to run it. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. Second and goal from the 1. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking. Beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Watch the safety creep.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Here we go, here we go. Line in. We're going to 52. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
The one with the dive look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, 65 yards. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken very short. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29.
Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Check safety, check safety. There we go, kill. Out. 26.
Prescott to throw it. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Prescott from the gun. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. Cooper was the target there. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
57 Mike. Mike 57. It's our deal. It's our deal. Hey, it's our house. 57's the Mike. 57's the Mike. Tack, truck.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. His throw incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, but it'll be 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
57's Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. 57's the Mike. 57's the Mike. Let's go. 57's the Mike. Watch 57. Wow. Hey.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Down to lose one. Check.
Third down. Here's Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
That's it, baby. We got one.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Montez Sweat in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Watch the slant. Then we're going to 53. Come on, switch it.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
Let's go. At their own 39-yard line.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Alert 3. Let's 57's right. Exit. 57.
2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Read it. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Now Haskins on 1st down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Haskins going to throw again. Ooh, with a juke. Able to find his running back, Geis. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 7 yards there and a first down. Haskins now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Now Prescott. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Prescott. That one complete. Elliott. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Mike, 55.
Here's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan, his second sack of the night.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 34-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Well, PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play, so they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Cowboys take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To throw is Prescott. And he slings one that's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's 3rd and 4.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other.
2nd and 6 at the Redskins' 48-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun. It's just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both have a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Prescott from the gun on third. And that's Elliott, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Now Prescott. And they're going to get him. He's sagged back around the 28. Montez Sweat able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
It's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Montez Sweat bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Here's Prescott. And that is going to be incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here we go. Here we go. Touchdown. Check right. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
On 1st down, it's Haskins. Dumps it off for Geis. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Darius Geis. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9. At the 40-yard line.
Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 23. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On first down, this is Geis. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. 64, weak. 57 the mic, 57 the mic. We don't want this. On the ball. Kill.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darius Geis with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at Week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in Week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. This one taken from the 7. And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16.
That's around 16-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 21-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
He's crashing. Then we're going to 53. Check 26.
Again, it's Elliott.
Check.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw. Prescott looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Elliott. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the 45-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Go to 54. Go to 54. Line.
We got to seal. They're going to need some therapy after this.
Kill. Under 10. 10. No. Off. Safe. Check 52. Kill.
10th carry now for Elliott. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Prescott from the gun. It's caught. Cooper. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
They're already slim. Hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Let's go, defense.
The Cowboys will go. Prescott gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg. Nope. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Montez Sweat in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Haskins going to try to throw it. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 35. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
That's it. Here we go. Here we go.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
At the 18-yard line.
On the ready. Mike, 57. It's our time. It's our time.
49, check 49.
Now Haskins to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete.
The 2nd down pass. Thrown away and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 17.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
55's my guy, 55. I don't think you got it, son.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Open man is Westbrook, complete. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Haskins now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10.
He's tired of me. He's tired of us. Hey.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Come on, D. Check 9, check. Move. Yeah.
2nd and 10 now. Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
All day, baby, all day.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken near the 13. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. and that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the